And I was told that I will give a valedictory address. But let me assure you that I am not expert in FinTech. And I don't know why they asked me to give valedictory address. Why do you think they asked me to do this? Just one simple reason. I was the boss for organizing this event, actually. The boss को कुछ तो रखना पड़ता है, actually. Do you know what is the definition of boss? Qualities of boss, or whom do we call boss? क्या हुनर होते हैं boss में? Do you know that? Some of you have worked, na? So you must be having bosses, and you must be knowing what boss means, actually. मैं भी बताता हूँ क्या boss होता है by a small anecdote. Based on my own real life experience of several years ago, actually. In fact, 40-45 साल पहले की बात है, 1975-76 की कहानी बता रहा हूँ मैं. I was doing my PhD at IIT Kanpur, and in 1975 I got married while doing PhD. And come 76, and 76 was the year where my wife's birthday came, and first birthday after marriage, actually. वो तो अच्छे से celebrate करना ही चाहिए ना, इज्जत का सवाल था, actually. So I had to do that. And उन दिनों क्या होता था, आजकल का तो मुझे पता नहीं इन बच्चों का, but उन दिनों जो पति पत्नी रहते थे, एक दूजे के लिए, आपने देखी एक दूजे के लिए पिक्चर, कुछ भी कर सकते थे, पति पत्नी के लिए चांद तारे तोड़ सकता था, actually. तो उस टाइप था, actually. So anyway, I asked my wife, I'm trying to tell you what boss means. So I asked my wife that, Begum batao, what kind of gift I should get for you for your birthday, so that, you will really like it, actually. And my wife is a animal lover, bird lovers and all that. तो उसने मुझे बोला कि नहीं, आपको चांद तारे तोड़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, मेरे लिए एक अच्छा प्यारा सा तोता लेके आ जाओ करके. So she said that just give me a parrot, actually. And I was at IIT Kanpur and a research guy. So I did extensive research in finding out which is the best shop in Kanpur where I can go and get a beautiful bird, actually, beautiful parrot. तो रिसर्च करने के बाद पता चला कि एक मियाँ अशरफी लाल की दुकान है, परेड मार्केट है कानपुर में, एक्चुअली आई डोंट नो वेदर यू नो और नॉट. वहाँ उनकी एक दुकान है, उनके पास सबसे अच्छे तोते मिलते हैं, एक्चुअली आप जाके ला सकते हैं वहाँ से. माई फ्रेंड्स टोल्ड मी. सो आई वेंट टू परेड एंड वेंट टू मियाँ अशरफी लाल शॉप एंड आई टोल्ड हिम, मेरी पीढ़ी बताया कि दिस माई फर्स्ट बर्थडे बीइंग सेलिब्रेट फॉर वाइफ, मुझे सबसे अच्छा तोता दो करके. ही वॉज इम्प्रेस्ड एंड ही हैड सिंपैथी फॉर मी एंड ऑल दैट, एंड ही सेड नहीं सर आपको सबसे अच्छा तोता दूंगा करके, तो मैं दिखाता हूँ आपको तोता करके. तो ही वेंट एंड शोड वन पैरेट, and it's a really beautiful parrot. Then I asked him, इसकी क्या कीमत है? तो he said इसकी कीमत है 50,000. मैंने बोला क्या बात, मतलब इतना लिखने में अच्छा है, but 50,000 is too much. तो बोले नहीं सर, इसमें एक बहुत बड़ी खासियत है, वो ये कि ये गीता पहले पन्ने से आखिरी पन्ने तक मुँह जबानी बोल सकता है, बोले इसलिए 50,000 है. So I start thinking, लूँ नहीं लूँ. बोले नहीं आप और एक देख लीजिए करके. सो ही टुक मी टू सेकंड तोता, एक्चुअली. एंड देन आई सॉ दैट इज ऑल्सो ब्यूटिफुल एंड आई आस्क्ड हिम द प्राइस एंड ही सेड इसकी कीमत 1 लाख रुपया है. बोला अब इसमें क्या हो गया, एक्चुअली. बोले नहीं सर, इसको गीता ही सिर्फ नहीं आती है, कुरान भी पहले पन्ने से आखिरी पन्ने तक आती है, एक्चुअली 2 in 1 मिल जाएगा आपको. तो मैं तो उस वक्त स्टूडेंट था, सोचने लगा. बोले सर आप एक लास्ट देख लीजिए करके, आपको फिर डिसीजन लेना करके. तो ही शोड बी थर्ड वन एंड मैंने बोला इसकी क्या कीमत है? तो बोले इसकी कीमत 1.5 लाख है. बोले और अब इसमें क्या इतना एक्स्ट्रा है? बोले इनको खाली गीता, कुरान, लेकिन बाइबल भी आती है ना, फर्स्ट पेज से लास्ट पेज तक, एक्चुअली. एंड आई वॉज इम्प्रेस्ड एंड आई वॉज थिंकिंग दैट लेट मी सी वॉट इज इन माई बैंक बैलेंस एंड आई परचेज इन ऑल दैट. देन ही सेड दैट ठीक है आप खरीद रहे हो, लेकिन एक लास्ट आइटम है वो देख लो सर, एक्चुअली. ही शोड मी दैट एंड मैंने उसका प्राइस पूछा एंड ही सेड इट इज़ 5 lakhs of rupees. तो बोला 5 लाख, क्या बात है इसमें विशेष? बोले ये तो मुझे पता नहीं इसमें क्या हुनर है क्या नहीं, लेकिन ये तीनों तोते इसको बॉस बोलते हैं, एक्चुअली. That was just to lighten the mood, after very heavy day and all that. But you will agree, बहुत सारे बॉस ऐसे ही रहते ना actually. हम लोग सब जानते क्या करना क्या नहीं, is the boss. But literally, please believe it, it is exactly like this today actually. ना मैं खाली बॉस था इसलिए यहाँ आ गया actually. काम तो इन सब लोगों ने किया, Kshitij and all of that actually. Having said that, on the lighter side, coming back to this event, I'm personally very happy that the event took place. In the morning, of course, we had 200 plus people. Sham ho rahi, so I can understand, So there are little lesser people. It's okay, actually, But a day, what I liked about it was the spectrum of speakers, the coverage of different areas in FinTech was very good, given that, we had only one day, 7 speakers, and they were of different kinds, For example, Kshitij came and gave us an overview of FinTech sector, its size, what scope is there, how much is being invested globally in the FinTech sector by different countries, what we are doing, how many FinTech startups are there. So very impressive, comprehensive picture of the FinTech sector as a whole. He came and did that. And then we had Vishal Mehta from Infibeam, who run this CC Avenues. Have you heard of CC Avenues? He's owned by them, and it's such a large payment gateway, and since several years actually doing very well. And he shared very nicely about his entrepreneurial journey in the FinTech sector from startup to scale up actually. So we had overview and then one entrepreneur sharing what it means to build a FinTech. Thereafter, one company which is in FinTech and very innovative, novel solution, Sciencey. Ankit Ratan was there. And he talked about not that he provides KYC solution, he provides a platform or a framework or a toolkit for SBI or HDFC or many companies who are in finances to build their own KYC technology solution. He calls it no-code solution. The SBI doesn't have to have people who are coders or developers. They can just take the tools from this toolkit and compose their own solution. And they have done extremely well. In fact, last year they had got the first prize in the FinTech competition in which I was part of the jury actually, and extremely well. And he articulated very well actually. And he came in spite of some family function at his house. He's flying back to Patna. Hopefully he'll be reaching in some time to Patna actually. So then overview, entrepreneur, and one company which is in operation. We had that. And thereafter, FinTech being FinTech has to be regulated. So the regulatory framework which is there, not just here, but internationally what's happening actually. So we had, Unmesh Patriwala from IFSCA who came and shared with us the framework under which we have to operate. And in the last session also we heard from Pratik that any FinTech company has to have some kind of licensing to be done because they have to be regulated actually. And that was the morning. After the morning, we had a very good sumptuous lunch and we finished well in time and came back over here. And thereafter in the afternoon, Mr. Samba Murthy, who is a very good friend of mine, we have worked together for a number of years. He was the chairman of Corporation Bank, but then after that he had joined IDRBT. IDRBT is a Institute for Development of Research, Development and Research for Banking Technology. It's an arm of RBI, where we were in 98, 99, 2000 working on an ATM switch. They used to run an ATM switch, which then later went to NPCI. NPCI operated that switch for a long time and then came with UPI and all that. So he has extensive experience in this sector, and he came all the way, flew from Hyderabad and to this place he came. And excellent, very relevant topic, central bank digital currency and how it's going to pan out. He talked about that. And then of course we had this power of UPI session from none other than one of our own student who passed out in 2000. Vishal, he came and talked to you about what NPCI is doing and how it is going, and the organizational structure also. Somebody asked the question. They are non-profit organization, they don't want to make money. They run all their infrastructure on open source software, don't pay any licensing cost. The UPI architecture that is designed is actually by Nandan Nilekani, the same person as Aadhaar person. And it's such an architecture that allows everybody to come on board actually. So we had a wonderful session from him. And thereafter then Prateek came and he talked about how all this financial data collected can be used for figuring out lending or the scope in FinTech sector he talked about in general. So we had 7 speakers and wide spectrum was covered, So it was a good day spent and nice that was there. I had heard this term, backbenchers or suited booted, but in the afternoon they were very active actually. Inko khana khane ki zarurat thi shayad actually. And then they became very active and took a lot of interest actually. So my deep gratitude to each and every speaker, 7 of them who were there. We are very thankful to them actually. I'd also like to thank the entire audience. The registration we were expecting only 100. We had 200 plus people and the hall was quite full actually. I was a bit concerned that ये थोड़ा बड़ा hall है, खाली 50-60 लोग रहेंगे तो खाली लगेगा. And we got people from Hyderabad and they all flew here and इज्जत का सवाल था. So, but you people turned out in large number and you involved yourself, participated yourself, including you could take a brunt of my poor joke that I just now shared actually, So that was that actually, But all these 7 speakers, FinTech, sporadically growing, audience, everything fine. मैं 70-72 साल का हूँ, ये तो सब देखा है मैंने actually. But let me tell you, the key thing that could allow us to make this happen, the key reason is this Ahmedabad Management Association. It is all because of Ahmedabad Management Association that this could happen actually. So my way of thanking and closing would be giving 3 cheers for Ahmedabad Management Association by saying, I will say hip hip, you loudly say hooray and then we disperse. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! All the best. Good night.